basically told her, well, if there's nothing that can be done, then I'm going to start looking elsewhere. And she comes back saying, what about your money? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be talking about 3 main reasons why I quit my management role. I was in the leadership role in a warehouse type environment job that I had. I'm not going to display the name that I worked at because then, yeah, we don't want to do that. A quick summary about my job. I was a supervisor for 2 departments, an incoming department and an outgoing department. I worked under 1 manager. I had 2 team leads in each department. We handled cell phones and tablets and we refurbished them and sold them again type of job. So reason number 1 why I quit is just being overwhelmed, overworked, stressed out. I did work under 1 manager and, well, I worked under 2 managers, but the other one, he left. So I was stuck working under this 1 manager who was very micromanaging, everything his way type of manager. He would even worry about other team members outside of my department, and he would come up to me like, what is he doing? And I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not his supervisor. Go ask his supervisor. He was very, I feel like he was very manipulative. Is that a word? Manipulative. He was very like, he was just over controlling with every little thing that happened in the warehouse. He was the type of manager that would get overwhelmed very easily. Like, he lets every little thing get to him because he comes from a restaurant business. He comes from a restaurant job. Like, he used to work in a restaurant. He was a manager, store manager, something like that. And you know, restaurant business is very overwhelming, very like quick, fast. So he still had that mentality coming into a warehouse where it was more chill, but he was still quick and fast. I would even get bothered outside of work hours to get something done when we could just do it tomorrow. Like, it doesn't have to get done today. He was just he was a hard worker for no reason, is how I see it. So that was one reason why. That's one thing that I didn't like, is that he was very pushy, and I know that sometimes, like, I even push my team leads because I know, like, we have to push each other to get stuff done, but he was like pushing me to, like, he was trying to kill me type of thing. Like, he wasn't trying to help me, like, push me. He was trying to kill me, push me. He was trying to make me kill myself. Like, I wouldn't take breaks to get this stuff done because I cared so much about getting it done, and I was a good worker. Like, I cared about getting my job done on time, getting my work done on time with no issues. I didn't like my manager coming up to me saying, why wasn't this done? So I would try to get it done just so he wouldn't bother me about it, because if I didn't get it done, he would harass me about it so bad. And he would make me feel like I was a failure. Like, he would be like, you should have got it done, you should have done it this way, or you should have done this. And then I'm like, yes, but I'm over 2 departments, so I can only do what I can do. Like, I'm trying my hardest to even get it done. So that was one reason why I left, because he was just he was too pushy, too micromanaging. He cared too much, and he was just, him being overwhelmed made me being overwhelmed. And I would talk to him all the time, like, you need to calm down, you're pushing me too hard. He knows I'm a good worker, but he would always come every hour, minute of the day asking for an update, and that just makes you not want to get it done on time. People don't understand that. Let me do my job. Just tell me what to do and let me do my job. Go to your office, go look at reports, something more important. I feel like he was trying to do my job instead of letting me do my job. Reason number 2 is that there was no life-work balance. They are the type that will call you at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Mind you, we get out at 5. They'll call you at 7 or 8, saying this has to get done. We messed up here and this has to get done today. We need you to come in, or did you bring your laptop? Like, I wouldn't even take my laptop at home because, you know, I leave my work at work and I come home to be at home with my family. But they would always tell me, like, you should be taking your laptop to your house. You should be taking your laptop home with you just in case anything happens. And I never really believed in that. Like, that wasn't part of the job description. I know it said, like, if needed, like, we have to work and when needed, and I get that, but it was stuff that probably could have gotten done the next day, to be honest. And we all have stuff to do outside of work. It's not just like we're just going home and doing nothing, because that's not the life I live. Other people probably do that, like my manager, but I don't. I have family to be with. I have my son I have to be with. And then one time my manager also stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning or something crazy for a new release they were doing in the system. That's insane to me. Like, if you're making your employees do that, like work all day and then having to stay up until 2 a.m., I would have quit if I was a manager. Seriously, that's just crazy. Like, they don't care about what we have going on outside of work. And I didn't like that, and I feel like it was getting worse as the years passed. It's really bad when companies don't let you have that work-life balance, because my outside life matters. Everyone's outside life matters outside of work, because that's all the time that's the only time we have that's not inside work. And we work 40 hours a week, which is a lot. So I wasn't getting the time that I wanted outside of work. Reason number 3 is very important, because this is when I tried to talk to my manager about these concerns that were building up inside my head about me wanting to leave. So I talked to my manager. I told him my 2 cents about how I feel about working for the company. Mind you, I was, just to like summarize me in that company, I was a supervisor for 2 departments, which not a lot of supervisors have 2 departments. I think only 1 or 2 supervisors in the warehouse had 2 departments. And then I'm bilingual, so I could interact with English speakers and Spanish speakers. My job was split. There was 2 different type of incoming work, 2 parts to the company, but it's like all in one company. I knew the whole side of one department, while all the other supervisors were in the other department in each thing. And I had, like, I'll explain it. I had 2 departments, but one department was broken up into 4 different job functions. I just know it was more easier, less systems that they had to work with, whereas I had like 6 pages, 6 different systems that we had to work with in my department. So I knew one whole half of the warehouse, and I was very knowledgeable with each system that we used. If there's someone that needs to get paid the most in there, I think that should be me, because of all the knowledge that I had in this company, I feel like it would only be fair if I got paid the most, because I'm doing more work than they are. But as my manager would tell me, when I would tell him this, like, to stay in my own lane, don't worry about what other people are doing, just worry about yourself. That's what he would tell me. He's like, don't worry about them, worry about yourself. I'm like, okay, kill myself, got it. Yes, so that was me. I told my manager what I was feeling. I was frustrated, upset, overwhelmed, overworked, underpaid, and he wanted to take it to the HR manager. So the HR manager set up a meeting with me, my manager, and her. She told me to tell her what was going on, and I told her what was happening, and she brought up working overtime. Oh, on top of that, I was salary. So, get all the hours out of me that you can because I'm not getting paid for it. So I told her how I didn't think it was fair that I'm always asked to come in early, leave late, while other supervisors, they get to come in and leave the time that they're scheduled. Yes, some of them have to work a Saturday, I get that. But I knew there was a rotating schedule between them because they were all on one side of the department. There was like 4 supervisors on one side and then there's just me. Can you imagine that? 4 people running one side, 1 person running the other side. It's a no-brainer. So that's what I told them. I basically told them how I felt. I was trying to see if there's anything we can do to work that out, to plan something better, because I do have, stuff I have to do outside of work. And she basically told me that you're salaried. When you're needed, you're needed. When you're asked to come in at this time by your manager, you have to come in at this time. If you have to stay late, you have to stay late. She started telling me how she works 72 hours a week sometimes to get her job done, which I think is ridiculous because that's a lot of hours. That's not for me. And I basically told her, well, if there's something that can be done, then I'm going to start looking elsewhere. And she comes back saying, what about your money? And this is why jobs know that people like us will not quit, because we need the money. And I just told her, it's my problem. I'll figure it out. I know what I know what I'm doing. I'm not just saying words. Like if nothing's gonna happen, I'm gonna start looking for other jobs that are, something that I want to do, something that works with me. And she was just taking notes, basically, probably saying that I'm complaining all the time, because it's not the first time that I've talked to her. I feel like I complain a lot, but I have my reasons to complain. They're all legit reasons. They're not just like, oh, I worked this Saturday, pay me for it, or I'm quitting type of thing. Like, I'm trying to work with them. I'm telling them what's frustrating me, and she's just writing her notes down. I took it kind of as a threat, saying, what about the money? Thinking that I wouldn't leave. And then she said that she was going to go over it with my manager's manager, and then she would follow up with us. And I was like, okay. 2 weeks passed by, haven't heard anything. 3 weeks passed by, I haven't heard anything. A month passes by, I haven't heard anything from her. After that conversation also, she stopped talking to me. She was very short talk with me also. I felt like she didn't like the conversation that we had. And I think that's very unprofessional from an HR manager to basically show you, like, I don't like you. Like, we should all be treated equally no matter what goes on, what we say. Because I still treated her with the same I feel like I still talked to her and treated her with the same respect, even if I didn't like her, because that's how I am. I'm not gonna, short talk you because I don't like you. I don't do that. So yeah, so nothing happens after a month. So then I started saying, okay, my manager's still pissing me off. I know the sun's in my face. I'm so sorry. This freaking cloud. I don't know if there's anywhere else I can move. Sorry, I had to move because the sun is in my face where I was sitting at originally. It's still in my face, but not as bad. So yeah. What was I saying? So a month passes by, nothing happens. So that's when I start looking for what I'm gonna be doing, because I'm not gonna stay there. I'm not gonna stay there. I have all these other managers that are doing nothing. Not managers, supervisors that do nothing. And I'm here killing myself, getting paid the same as them. I decided to put my 2 weeks in. Not my 2 weeks. I give them a month in advance, heads up. But I basically told them this is going to be my last day that I work for your company. And that was it. So tell me why, after I put in my 2 weeks, everybody starts freaking out except for the HR manager. My manager's manager, he comes to talk to me. My manager started freaking out. So then he told his manager, and his manager came to talk to me, saying, he started asking me about what's going on, what are your concerns you're having. I heard you put your 2 weeks in, is there anything we can do? And I'm just like, huh. So you guys thought I wasn't being serious when I told you that I would start looking for other jobs. Like, isn't that, like, they should have done this the first time I talked to the HR manager. They start caring once I put in my 2 weeks. So I held my head high, put my foot down, and I wasn't gonna let them win. This is what they wanted. So after I put my 2 weeks in, my manager starts asking me, what concerns do you have? He stopped micromanaging me. He stopped bothering me. He stayed in his office the whole time. That whole last month, he stayed in his office, which is insane to think, why now? Why now? Why not last month? At least the last month that I worked there, it wasn't bad. It was peaceful because he didn't bother me. They also try to give me a pay raise. Not gonna happen, sir. Nope. That's what's crazy to me. Once I put in my 2 weeks, that's when they started trying to fix my problems. But I'm the type of person that if I say this, I'm gonna follow through with it. I'm not going to let anyone get in the way. They even try to create a new role for me, like a whole separate role for me to do something that I would have loved to do, but I just know if I would have stayed there day one, and I didn't want them to win because I tried talking to them and they weren't listening to me. They didn't see it as a problem then, and the day I put in my 2 weeks in, they all start taking action, which is too late because not anyone just puts their 2 week in. Like, they're not joking. Like, I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm putting my 2 weeks in. It is what it is. You didn't fix my problems when I talked to the HR manager, and now all of a sudden they want to fix my problems. So that's just to show you how they don't care about their good employees until the last straw, until it's too late, because that's what happened with me. They didn't take me serious. They didn't care that I was being... Imagine if I would have stayed, nothing would have happened if I would have stayed, basically. And I know if I would have still stayed, even with the pay raise, it would have slowly went back to how it was at the beginning. So that's why I knew I had to leave. I just know that they're not going to change anything other than me getting a pay raise, which is not... That's not all I wanted. Like, I literally didn't even... If you just let me work my hours and we all get treated equally, that's all I asked for. They didn't even have to give me a pay raise. So yeah, those are the 3 reasons why I quit my job, and hopefully if someone is going through the same thing, you guys, like I said before, please find the courage and strength to just leave your toxic job because it is not worth it. I am so much better mentally, better. It's already been 2 weeks, I think, since I've left my job, and it's just, it feels so weird. Like, I'm just like, I'm drinking more water. If you know from my first video, like, I'm drinking more water. I'm trying to be more healthy. I'm just generally happy. Happy that I don't have to hear my manager anymore over my shoulder. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of my reasons why I quit my management role, and we're only going up from here. We're not going down, we're going up. So keep that in mind. There's always other opportunities for us out there. We just have to look for it. We have to work hard for it because nothing comes to us easy. We have to work hard for it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.